start. MTC. Day 25, Number 1. How can we access the nutrients we need with less impact on the environment? The most significant component of agriculture that contributes to climate change is livestock. Globally, beef cattle and milk cattle have the most significant impact in terms of greenhouse gas emissions, GHGs, and are responsible for 41% of the world's CO2 emissions and 20% of the total global GHGs. GHGs, 41%, 20%. The atmospheric increases in GHGs caused by the transport, land clearance, methane emissions, and grain cultivation associated with the livestock industry are the main drivers behind increases in global temperatures. In contrast to conventional livestock, insects, as many livestock are low GHG emitters, use minimal land, can be fed on food waste rather than cultivated grain, and can be farmed anywhere, thus potentially also avoiding GHGs caused by long-distance transportation. Many livestock. If we increased insect consumption and decreased meat consumption worldwide, the global warming potential of the food system would be significantly reduced. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 25, Number 2. Honeybees have evolved what we call swarm intelligence, with up to 50,000 workers in a single colony coming together to make democratic decisions. 5. When a hive gets too crowded in springtime, colonies send scouts to look for a new home. If any scouts disagree on where the colony should build its next hive, they argue their case the civilized way, through a dance-off. Each scout performs a waggle dance for other scouts in an attempt to convince them of their spot's merit. Waggle dance. The more enthusiastic the dance is, the happier the scout is with his spot. The remainder of the colony votes with their bodies, flying to the spot they prefer and joining in the dance until one potential hive overcomes all other dances of the neighborhood. It would be great if Congress settled their disagreements the same way. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 25, Number 3. Confident leaders are not afraid to ask the basic questions, the questions to which you may feel embarrassed about not already knowing the answers. When you don't know something, admit it as quickly as possible and immediately take action. Ask a question. If you have forgotten who the governor is or how many hydrogen atoms are in a molecule of water, quietly ask a friend, but one way or the other, quit hiding, and take action. Paradoxically, when you ask basic questions, you will more than likely be perceived by others to be smarter. And more importantly, you'll end up knowing far more over your lifetime. This approach will cause you to be more successful than you would have been had you employed the common practice of pretending to know more than you do. To make good leaders, effective teachers encourage, invite, and even force their students to ask those fundamental questions. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 25, Number 4. It is vitally important that wherever we go and whatever we do, the body temperature is maintained at the temperature at which our enzymes work best. It is not the temperature at the surface of the body which matters. It is the temperature deep inside the body which must be kept stable. At only a few degrees above or below normal body temperature, our enzymes cannot function properly. If this goes on for any length of time, the reactions in our cells cannot continue and we die. All sorts of things can affect internal body temperature, including heat generated in the muscles during exercise, fevers caused by disease, and the external temperature. We can control our temperature in lots of ways. We can change our clothing, the way we behave, and how active we are. But we also have an internal control mechanism. When we get too hot, we start to sweat. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 25, Number 5. The self is formed by social forces, by looking outwards as well as inwards. One way in which other people shape who you are is described by Leon Festinger's theory. Leon Festinger. Simply put, imagine that you feel like you're good at math because you came top of your class. but you feel that you are bad at dancing after seeing other people at the school disco. These facts aren't objective, of course. If you happen to be placed in a classroom of future professional statisticians, inevitably you feel relatively bad at math. On the upside, you may feel like you are better at dancing. Festinger realized that these social comparisons aren't entirely accidental. Festinger. Humans actively seek out particular people and select particular skills or attributes for comparison. MTC. Good job. Let's start. MTC. Day 25, number 6. Cutting costs can improve profitability but only up to a point. If the manufacturer cuts costs so deeply that doing so harms the product's quality, then the increased profitability will be short-lived. A better approach is to improve productivity. If businesses can get more production from the same number of employees, they're basically tapping into free money. They get more product to sell, and the price of each product falls. As long as the machinery or employee training needed for productivity improvements costs less than the value of the productivity gains, it's an easy investment for any business to make. Productivity improvements are as important to the economy as they are to the individual business that's making them. Productivity improvements generally raise the standard of living for everyone and are a good indication of a healthy economy. MTC. Good